doesn't it feel like it was, I guess it was a few years ago, right?
It's been an amazing journey, but we're just so incredibly grateful to be here and to be recognized for the film. And this really is for John and Suleika. So we're sad they're not here with us, but we're indebted to them.
And what's so really, I think what's a real nice button on this whole thing is just that it has a happy ending all the way around. Suleika's doing fine, John's doing great, you guys are all doing great. You win here, you win there. It just seemed to be a journey that had a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, right? So have you spoken with John and Suleika?
We haven't sent, so I don't have my phone on me, but I'm sure they're very excited.
We were racing to get to the stage to accept on their behalf. So as soon as we get our phones again, they'll be the first people we reach out to.
It's craziness. Everybody who comes back here says, I barely made it to the stage, or, I don't know where my phone is. I was supposed to get in touch with somebody, but I don't even know where my phone is. So it's like a little bit of chaos, and then you get in front of the camera and make it all look good, right? Kind of like you do with your documentary, right? You have all these raw pieces, and then it comes together in this beautiful package at the end. So how gratifying is it, when you make a documentary like that, and it's cinema verite, and you're basically living with them and shooting hours and hours of footage, some that you don't use, some that you do use. How is it when you're here, standing there, and you've won a Grammy for your efforts?
It's surreal, and I think it's especially surreal since we were here 3 years ago, sneaking in to film John winning Album of the Year, and the film is about cycles, and it's about life, and it's about the ups and downs that we all go through, and I think it's we're living, or all of us are living through a very difficult moment right now, and I think the film hopefully represents the power of the human spirit to persevere during tough times, and I think it's a really important message right now.
So let's go back to Las Vegas, which is what you're talking about, right? When John won those 5 Grammys, and you guys were sneaking around with cameras. How did you get past security? It was like in the middle of COVID too, right?
I'm not sure I should be celebrating sneaking, but I did sneak in. I was wearing a T-shirt, sneaking in with my iPhone. It was like one of John's biggest nights of his life, and it was very important to capture. So I hope they'll forgive me tonight after with this win.
Well, it was a very challenging time in both of their lives, and I'm sure now that they've come out the other side, they're grateful to have that to look back on. Is when you guys look back at that time, and look at that film again, what are you thinking? What's going through your heads?
I think the biggest takeaway is the healing power of art, the power of connection and faith that things will get better, right? Like the best life is about being in the best of times and the worst of times, sometimes at the same time. And you have to have something that you can cling to that gives you hope. And in the case of this film, it was making music. It was art as a survival mechanism. And that's something that I hold on to each day. And yeah, I think that's my biggest takeaway of the film is that you can have hope, you can believe, you can have trust. The power went out in the midst of his biggest show, and yet everything went perfect. It almost as if it was like a divine plan for the power to go out to show this channel that John can be in his amazing musicality. And I think that's something that I hold on tight, is that even when things feel the worst, you have to have faith that you can make it through.
Or it's, maybe the lesson is also that it's not what life throws at you, it's how you respond to what life throws at you.
And I'll say John and Suleika were just absolute inspirations, and we as filmmakers and artists felt like we needed to step our games up as filmmakers to channel and tap into what they are creating and putting out into the world. So we're just grateful to have been able to spend time with them and to tell their story, and just feel very fortunate to be here tonight as well.
That was a really amazing time in John's life, where you guys were there documenting the explosion of his career.
That's the beauty of documentaries, is you sort of start off on this journey without any clear insight of where it's going to end or where it's going to turn or twist, and I think that's why we love making films like this. Is you know, you never know where it's all going to go. But
So you thinking about doing a sequel, perhaps?
maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be against it. You know, they're two incredible artists, and I think they're two of the best improvisers, obviously musically, but also just in life. And it was so fun using our form of cinema verite to sort of try to dance with them, to try to play jazz with them, as they, you know, meander and navigate and twist and turn with all the stuff that happened over the course of that year. So it was, you know, I think for me and I think for all of us and our amazing team of editors and cinematographers, and one of the greatest honors of our lives to tell this story.
So were they happy to get you guys out of the house when you were done filming, or were you happy to be out of their hair, or what was
we
it like?
literally filmed, and I'm not saying this like because we're, you know, won a Grammy and we're in front of lights. Like, we literally filmed every single day, basically 16, 18 hours a day for almost a year. I mean, it was, and for them to have the courage to allow us to do that, and the vulnerability, the openness at such an incredibly difficult moment was, I've never seen anything like that, having made films for 20 years. So it was truly an amazing honor.
Would you guys ever allow cameras in your homes for 16, 18 hours a day while you're going through the hardest things in your life?
No. I just don't think that I am that brave, and I think that they operate at a level of like radical vulnerability that I hope to reach someday. So maybe in like 20 years, check in with me, and I may be in that place through like meditation and journaling to be able to let cameras in my house for that long.
You?
Absolutely not. I'm sweating just standing here in front of you. So I think there's no Matthew Heineman documentary coming out anytime soon.
So how are you guys celebrating this evening?
Jordan has his whole family here. You know, I think we just want to be together and celebrate together, and we're just so grateful. Obviously, we wish John and Suleika were here, but just, yeah, have a few drinks maybe.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Job really well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.